I might be here now in the next 10 minutes, I might get a call and there might be a critical situation that I need to take a call on. So sound mind in a sound body, a sound mind to take the right decision and the sound body to execute that particular decision that you do. For me, I would say success is 4 F's. It's family, finance, fitness and friends. The downfalls, the pitfalls that you had in your student days, and you make the best of it and implement it in the business or the field that you work in. And I think that is what has helped me achieve that little success that I have in the last years.
Hello viewers, welcome back to the latest episode of GIBS IRE Talks podcast powered by GIBS Business School. Well, I often believe, doing business is an art. There are no books, described theories or the success formulas. It's all about getting into the fray and giving it your best. Right? So we at GIBS Business School have very well understood this, and we have tried to bring in all the necessary innovations in place, be it teaching pedagogy, experiential learning for the students. And IRE Talks podcast is also one such, I would say, innovation where there's an opportunity for the budding entrepreneurs to listen to the incredible journey of the entrepreneurs who are part of this show. And I think we never fail to impress in all our previous episodes. And yet again today, we have with us Mr. Harsha Melanta. On behalf of all my viewers, I extend a warm welcome to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Rao. Really proud and happy to be a part of this podcast, especially in an organization that involves young kids who are the future entrepreneurs in the future of this country. So thank you for having me over.
Great. The pleasure is all ours, sir. Sir, I would feel, there are 3 stages of business. The India has seen the 3 phases. One would be, I would say, the mid of 2000, and you had a big economic recession back then, right? And the major one, I would say, is the phase that we saw post-COVID, right? And now that India is on a verge of completing 25 years, the next 25 years, where in 100 years of independence, we call it as India in Amrit Kal. I think a lot of contribution is going to come from the business entity. So how do you look at India's business holistically, maybe from back to 1947 from now on?
Well, 1947 is something that we've read about. The previous, I can tell you about the last 10 years and the things, the way it's going.
Right.
I think this is the best phase of business in our country. Okay, one is the use of technology. There's so much of technology. There's so much of access to information that we have as compared to the previous years.
Right.
I think the next 10 years is going to be extremely dynamic for any business in India. That's what I believe for various reasons. Okay. Right. And also I feel that the newer generation is more curious. We can reach any point of the globe today. We have access to any point of the globe. Internet has changed the world now with artificial intelligence coming in. There's a lot of information and knowledge available online.
Absolutely.
You don't need to look up to somebody. You don't need to read books.
Right.
There's everything at the fingertips. So a lot of things have changed. Financing has become very easy. Everything has become, a lot of aspects of business has become very, very easy. Okay, and people are much more skilled these days. And there was a time, I remember as a child, I used to see people in business where one person was skilled in a particular thing, but today everybody is multi-skilled. The multi-skilled, multitasking, people are doing multiple things. Business owners, there used to be businessmen, and today there are business owners who are running business of varied skill sets and technologies and various fields.
True.
So there's a lot of scope for business.
Right.
And I always encourage youngsters that you have to be entrepreneurs. You employ people, and that is when the real growth of the country is going to happen.
Yes, I think I'm seeing this trend from job seekers to now they're getting into job providers, and India itself, is becoming the hub for business today. Right, and to add on, we have the successful, renowned businessmen like you. I would like to take you back to the journey. Can you throw some light on your initial days, maybe during your school days and the college days?
Well, I started off wanting to be a doctor. To be honest, I wanted to be everything except what I am today. Okay, I would say to a large extent it's been fluked with a lot of efforts. Okay, I wanted to be a doctor. I was an extremely high energetic child. Okay, so I always needed constant monitoring because of my high energy, I used to get distracted very soon.
So your entry into business was not a choice, but was an accident?
Entry into this business was an accident, not an accident exactly. I can just briefly tell you what happened.
Right.
So a child with high energy and constantly needed monitoring, others I'd keep getting distracted. So till my 10th, it was my parents who kept a lot of control on me, and then I went into a boarding school. Okay. So boarding school again was a very controlled environment. So throughout I kept doing well. Post my 12th is when I joined my engineering in Manipal. It was a free space. I had my world, and then that's when things went a little out of hand. I didn't do very well academically. I took quite a long time to finish my engineering.
Okay.
I did 7.5 years of engineering.
Oh, that's quite a big.
Except that a lot of life skills I learned.
Absolutely,
Okay?
no doubt.
I learned small business skills. I learned how to deal with people. My social skills became extremely good. I used to do a lot of small events to make some pocket money. I used to sell and buy somebody's bike to somebody and try to make some little money in between. And definitely it helped me build my entrepreneurial skills.
See, you had it in your blood already back then.
You can say that. And also, my dad was a businessman.
Okay.
Of course, in a different field of business. And business by default was in our even the community that I come from and a place I belong to. Business by default is there in the blood for most of the Bangaloreans. That is what I would say. So then, of course, I did my engineering, and then I got into a job. I started my business, which didn't do well initially. I was into advertising.
Okay.
Then I got into a job. I joined a call center.
Okay.
Very humble beginning again.
Which branch of engineering you did?
I did my civil engineering.
Civil engineering. Okay.
Yeah. And then I joined a call center. I
Okay.
did a business for some time, it didn't work at a young age. And then I joined a call center, worked there for a while, got into the BPO, did extremely well for myself, and then came as a head of operations for this company called Theorem in Mysore. I used to handle about 1,200 employees in my organization. During that time is when I was very keen on getting into business. I used to work 8 to 9 hours a day in a job, but somewhere there's a lot of stimulation. I thought that I was meant for something more. I was meant to do something more than this, than a regular job of 8 to 9 hours a day. And I kept looking for something or the other. That is when I started my first business in partnership, which was a dental chair manufacturing unit.
Wow.
It was called a CR Medical Innovation. Unfortunately, for whatever reasons, it didn't do well. It shut down. Okay, it shut down, and in the same place where I started this dental chair manufacturing unit, I started a small restaurant. Okay, my wife and me together, both of us were working. I took my job as head of operations. My wife quit her job as a vice president with a multinational company. We both resigned on the same day and started a first restaurant by the name of By the Way. Okay, it was a small, nice little restaurant, but the passion and the zeal with which we drove the place really did well. Okay,
True.
so restaurant was just a fluke. Somebody said there's this place which is not doing well. Would you want to be a part of it? And we thought, why not try our luck? And then we just put our head into it and tried our luck, and it really did well. And then there was no looking back. We are in partnership where we have about 9 to 10 restaurants today. We run a franchisee of Tony and Guy, that's a salon in Mysore. We also have a yoga center, residential yoga center in Mysore, and a few more business coming up in the next 1 or 2 years.
Harsha, I fail to understand one thing. Please correct me there. I see a lot of backbenchers, academically poor students ending up becoming a successful entrepreneur, right? Second, sometimes there is no relation with the educational background. If I take your example, you had your engineering in the civil engineering, and the business that you are running is totally different from what you studied. How is this possible? I mean, there are numerous such examples.
Well, I can talk for myself. I don't know about others. I can talk for myself. Backbencher, yes. Like I said, that helped me improve my social skills, because being in a backbench, I met a lot of like-minded people who are extremely, smart and outgoing and willing to do anything kind of students. What happens is, if I was extremely good in my studies in civil engineering, I probably would have been a civil engineer today. Okay, maybe would have been doing well as a civil engineer. Of course, I've got a lot of friends who were studying with me in civil engineering and doing extremely well for themselves in different companies or doing their own bit in the field of civil engineering. Fortunately or unfortunately, I didn't do well in civil engineering. And when I came out, the whole world was my canvas. I could do anything. I had a lot of options. I could, nobody would stop me from doing anything because I didn't do well in what I was doing. So I could try my hands at restaurant. I could try my hands at manufacturing dental chairs. I could go ahead and open a security agency. The whole world was my canvas. So that is when what happens is you don't want to keep losing out on opportunities. You already realize, you're mature enough to understand that you had a great opportunity in college which you didn't make the best out of. And now if you do not prove yourself again, then you're going to fall in front of your own eyes. Forget the rest, but you want to prove yourself to yourself first. So that is when you grab the best opportunity that you get and you put in your heart and your soul. And you make use of the networking, the contacts, the skill sets, the learnings, the downfalls, the pitfalls that you had in your student days, and you make the best of it and implement it in the business or the field that you work in. And I think that is what has helped me achieve that little success that I have in the last years.
As I said, experience is the biggest teacher, especially in the business domain.
True.
Right?
True.
I ask this question to all the entrepreneurs that I meet. When you are done with your degree and you took your job, and you resigned before getting into your. How was your parents' reaction? I understand your father was a businessman, but how was his immediate reaction?
Well, lot of anxiety, of course. I mean, somewhere they knew that uh, I would do well in life, but they were very anxious with the way things were going on. When I didn't do well in my engineering, or rather, when I lost a few years, they were a little upset that I don't seem to be taking my life seriously. You know, so they were anxious that what am I going to do? And in fact, I joined a MBA college. After my engineering, I joined an MBA college just because I didn't know what to do. And I joined this college in Bangalore, and that was a college that gave me an opportunity to attend college from 7 to 11 in the morning, and the college would place you in a job from 11 onwards, and they'd pay you a nominal salary every month. So they put me into a marketing agency. 15 days after joining the college, I realized that I should start that particular business myself, the company that I was working for. So 15 days later, I went back to my dad and said, I think I want to start a business. My dad said, that's a good idea, but you finish your MBA first. I said, no, I don't want to finish my MBA. I want to start this particular business that I'm working. So I was absolutely anxious and unhappy. He said, you know, you seem to be doing everything hodgepodge. You're doing everything half-half. I want you to finish your MBA, and I will definitely support you if you want to do your business.
Okay.
I said, no, I want to start my business.
You stick to your point.
Yeah, I stuck to my point, and he said, in that case, he said, what do you want? I said, I need support. I need financial support. So he gave me 5,000 rupees, and he said, this is all that you will get if you're going to take this decision right now. And the day you come back and apologize and say you're sorry is when I'll take you back. I said, you've taught me a lot. Okay, and I will never come back and apologize. I'll come back someday and make you proud. I took the 5,000, I left home, and I started my small business. Of course, the business didn't last long. Okay, but that was my first business that I ever started. So I discontinued my MBA and I did this. So my parents were very anxious, and at the same time, my dad kept a very close watch, and he was watching what I was doing, and you know whether things were going wrong. And I remember I did this. I was into advertising and marketing and events, and we did this very big event in Pune while I was in Pune, and I invited my dad to come and see the show. The show was a great success, but financially we lost a lot of money. And the next morning, my dad told me, "Okay, you've tried everything. Okay, you've tried everything now. I've given you enough time. You've tried everything.
Lovely.
Why don't you come back?" He said. I said, Dad, you've come to watch the show. I hope you enjoyed the show. I said, this is a pit that I've dug and I'm going to fill it. Okay, this is my problem. I'm going to deal with it.
Great.
Thanks for coming, I said. My dad said, yes, anytime you need anything, I'm there. I said, yes, I hope I never have to ask you for help this way. And he went back. And of course, there's a lot of struggle after that. And then again, then they come back, of course.
So what's the conversation that you have these days? I'm sure he's super proud of you now.
I'm sure he is, but unfortunately, he's not with me. I lost him 8 years back.
Oh, is it?
But wherever he is, I'm sure he's very proud of me. And even the last few years of his life, he was extremely proud of what I was doing. And he always expressed that explicitly, that he was proud of what I was doing.
Lovely, lovely. You hail from Bangalore.
Yeah.
And you study as well in Udupi in Manipal.
Yeah.
Both these places are known for restaurants, hotels.
Yeah.
Was that the reason why you ventured into this, or what is that?
Well, I belong to the Bunt community,
Right.
and I think by default, somewhere every Bunt boy has it in him that he wants to open a restaurant somewhere.
Is it?
So
Okay.
if you look at most of the restaurants, especially in Mumbai, in some parts of Maharashtra, Bangalore, you see that most of the Bunt community people are pretty active in the restaurant business. And I think what helps us, especially in our community, is the way we manage people. Of course, other communities also. I'm just talking about my community that I belong to. The biggest strength that the Bunt community has is with people. We have an amazing skill with way we manage our employees, way we manage our clients, way we manage relationships.
I agree with that.
Yeah. So that is what, and in the restaurant business, I think the prime aspect of running a successful restaurant business is your people management skills. So I think that is what has helped me. And no, I wouldn't say I wanted to open a restaurant all along, but I always wanted to be a businessman. So this was an opportunity that came my way, and I wanted to make the best out of it.
Lovely. I mean, chain of restaurants these days, and you're handling a set of 600 plus employees, right? So you remember your start from, I am sure your employee size would have been 5, 10, and now growing up to 600.
The first restaurant we started, I remember the very first day, we were 4 partners, 3 cooks and 3 waiters. Our restaurant was called as By the Way. That was a restaurant we opened in Mysore. That's the first very restaurant we opened. Like I said, my wife and me quit our job. We opened the first restaurants, and we had 2 partners and 3 cooks and about 3-4 waiters, and none of us almost knew what to do. And the very first day, we had an excellent response. You know, the restaurant was crowded. It was like a battlefield. We were on war footing. Somebody screaming to get the food, and somebody's trying to serve, and the customers like, what are these people doing? Because we ourselves didn't know how exactly we were supposed to coordinate the whole activity. You know? So that was the very first day that we started, and then as we crossed each milestone, you know, the first day we did a certain amount of business. It was a big struggle, but the second time we did that particular business, it was comfortable. The next milestone was a little difficult. So then it went on that pace, and we really focused a lot on that restaurant. About 2 to 3 years, we were totally focused. We ensured that the business, every single customer was taken care of, and that's the way it continues even today, for that matter. We're totally focused when it comes to our restaurants, the quality, the customer service, the hygiene, especially. So we totally focused into it, and then we got another opportunity to have another restaurant, and then there was no looking back. So it was just about replicating the efforts, replicating the process, replicating the quality. It was just about replicating as we go on.
From the finest restaurants, the beer bars, the sports bars, and also into catering.
Yeah.
There seems nothing stopping you.
It's just growth. I think it's organic. It's very organic growth that we've seen. We started a first restaurant, then today we are about 8 or 9 restaurants in partnership with my multiple excellent partners that I've got. I've got about 8 or 9 restaurants. Recently, in partnership, we opened a brewery on Church Street. It's called as Kling. It's opposite Pizza Bakery. We opened a brewery called Kling, a very premium brewery with excellent food that you get there. And we are into a lot of premium outdoor catering in Bangalore.
Okay.
A feather on a cap was a recent catering that we did on the 2nd of December. We did 2 caterings at 2 locations. One was for Boeing. We catered for their annual day for Boeing for about 12,000 employees.
Okay.
And another catering for a company called Applied Materials for 8,000 employees.
So
we catered
20,000.
to 20,000 people, and 800 of our employees worked on that day.
Fantastic.
Across 2 locations, and both the caterings were a super success.
Lovely.
So I think growth is natural. I mean, anybody who's eager to grow will look at small, and we've done it very, very systematically. It's never been abrupt, or it's never been in an erratic manner. It's been a very, very systematic manner. And as we have grown, we have taken partners at different stages with different skill sets who can manage a business. And it's been a very systematic growth. And I think the result also is.
I know. And now you seem to be enjoying and loving it.
Absolutely. I've enjoyed and loved it from day one. Even the toughest, hardest working day of my life has been, when I look back, I think that was the best thing that happened to me.
I ask this question always to the entrepreneurs, especially how was your face during 2020, 21, 22? These 3 years, I'm sure you'll never forget in your life.
Especially the first year was extremely bad. I mean, I can proudly say that we paid our employees during COVID.
Lovely.
We were one of the few organizations that paid our employees whatever we could. The minimum was a 50% of their pay. Every single month was paid, and sometimes more. And we took care of all the employees who stayed with us. We took care of their meals. If the stay was comfortable, we ensured that we went out of our way to take care of our employees. And trust me when I say this, when we came back post-COVID, our employees have been taking care of us ever since. Okay, that's a gratitude that they are, giving back to us, because they've come back with so much energy, and the business picked up so well because our employees, not a single employee left us during COVID and post-COVID. On the contrary, I can, very proudly say from the day we started till now, it's 10 years since our first restaurant started, at least 80% of our employees are with us from day one. Obvious reasons, few of them left because of relocation or family issues. But 80% of our employees are with us from day one, from the day we started.
That speaks.
We take care of our employees well, and our employees have really taken care of us and our organization. I'm really grateful to them. It's because of them that we're doing well.
Lovely.
And during COVID, I think if COVID lockdown would have extended by another 2-3 months, I probably wouldn't have been sitting here today. We were on the verge of a lot of restaurants shut down, and we were on the verge of shutting down. By the grace of God, and things opened up on time, and when it opened, it really opened up well, and business came back in a different level, and we were able to cope up and recover lot of the money that we lost.
Harsha, the biggest character of an entrepreneur is a mindset. So what was your mindset then? You said 3 months, another period of extension, you were out. So what was your mindset back then, and what strategies were we bounced back to this manner today?
I would say it was very anxious. My mindset was very anxious. But there is no way that you would want to pass on this anxiety to your family or your employees.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you have to hold a very, a composed demeanor, and give out an impression saying that everything is going to go well, and we're going to come out of this. And I'll tell you what helped us. Okay, the mindset in the sense, this entire COVID period was a time when we put a lot of best practices in place. We ran business in a very, I wouldn't say haphazard, but in a very lavish way. Everything was very lavish. Expenditure was very lavish. We never bothered about a few light bulbs on here and there, a few ACs on here and there. It never bothered us because business was going on. COVID was when we realized how important your savings are, how important it is to be very judicious in your expenses, how you got to mitigate your losses. So COVID was one time when we did a lot of studies on best practices, on what needs to work, what works, what should work and what should not work. There was a lot of anxiety. We as owners never passed it on to our employees. We always told them there is a light at the end of the tunnel, and the tunnel is not really far. And fortunately, there was a bright light at the end of the tunnel. And when it came back, it did a lot of savings in our regular business because everybody got a little cautious the way we ran our business, and that continues till date. So what we lost in COVID, I think over the last 4-5 years, we've been able to recover that just with the savings that we've done with the best practices that we were putting.
Fantastic. And I was told during the COVID, I think the hotel, hospitality, hotels and entertainment was a sector which was more affected. You agree with that?
Because of the size of the employees, like
Right.
if you have to compare, I mean, I'm just thinking out of the box that if it is a construction company, you let go of all your employees. Okay, if it's a manufacturing company, I really don't know how that works. But here, what happens is we deal with a lot of skilled laborers. We really
Right.
can't let go of our skilled laborers.
Yes.
And people who have worked with us. We can't tell them, okay, it's COVID now, you all leave. When COVID is over, I'm going to. And a lot of restaurants did that. A lot of restaurants let their employees go. But when the lockdown opened or the business opened, they were finding it difficult to get their employees back. So that is the reason why the hospitality industry was shut, because the restaurant, on an average, an average restaurant had about 50-60 employees. Some of our restaurants have about 120, 130 employees. That includes the security, the housekeeping, the gardeners, the whole lot of paraphernalia that goes into running a successful restaurant. So if you don't let them go and if you want to keep them together, then yes, it's really gets affected because you need to pay them, you need to take care of their families, you need to take care of them. So definitely it got hit pretty badly, definitely.
Right. Harsha, in my interaction, what I've clearly realized, you are an expert in people management, right? 600 plus employees, 29 plus, partners. There's a quote, too many people spoil the show, too many brains spoil the show. But in your case, it was not that. Can you share the mantra behind the success of it?
Because it was never too many, it was just right. The number of people. I've got 29 partners. As of today, I've got 29 partners across my 10 or 11 business. And in another year, I think I will be having another 5 or 6 more partners coming on board in the new business that's coming. And it's been a fun ride. I've got a lovely group of partners. I must say what I am today, I attribute it a lot to my family and my partners. Okay, and the simple mantra when it comes to partners, there are various groups of people that I interact with. One, I would say my partners. One, I would say my employees. One, I would say my customers or my clients.
Yes.
Okay, when it comes to my partners, my mantra has always been that my partner has to become successful. My partner has to make money.
Lovely.
I always say one thing: if you are in a partnership firm, never work for yourself, work for a partner, and in turn you become successful and you make money.
Fantastic.
The minute I start thinking that I have to make money is when you get hit. The minute you say my partners have to make money, my partners need to do well, my partners have to be, and that is the same way my partners deal with me. Okay, my partners today are not just partners, they're as good as my family. Okay, we spend a lot of quality time with each other, we all discuss, we brainstorm, we fight, we shout, we scream, and at the end of the day, the person who screams the loudest, we realize is the person who's screaming in the interest of the company, and the rest of them are screaming in our own interest. And then with due respect, we say, okay, what you're saying is right. Okay, and the best part about our partnership, most of my partnership is, each of the partner comes with his own strength, which the others are not good at. So then we understand that he's talking from an aspect which is his strength, and then we need to shut our mouth at that point of time. For example, a simple partnership between my wife and me. She takes care of the food production, while I do not understand food. I take care of the operations bit.
Okay.
So when it comes to food, and if she's saying something, I need to understand that she's talking because she knows it. I have a particular partner who manages our entire internets and their online services and all that. And we don't understand much of that part of the business. And when she says something, we understand that she's talking because she knows what she's doing. I am very good with finance. I'm very good with managing people. So I manage the accounts bit of it. I manage the hiring bit of it. I manage the PR bit of it.
Lovely.
So they understand that, okay, this is what it takes. So that is when it comes to my partners. When it comes to employees, I believe, the biggest strength of any organization are the employees. Okay?
Yes,
and
I agree.
you should let them do their job and you should do your job.
Fantastic.
I always tell them, you love me, I love you. You love the organization, I love you. Yeah? There is no point me telling him what to do, and he should do his job, I should do my job. If I am supposed to do his job, then I don't need him. And that's a clear message that I tell my employees. And there is a culture. Every organization, we strongly believe, first 1 or 2 years, the owners need to get totally involved. So the culture is driven right from the owner to the person right on the bottom line of the hierarchy. And then the culture gets driven, and it works that way throughout. You don't need to be involved with that. With clients and customers, it's purely about customer satisfaction. It's about the quality of your product and service. I mean, there is no two ways about it. There's no compromise on that.
Right. I have to just ask you here, because nowadays, especially in Bangalore, I see people ordering through all these online platforms. They don't prefer to go to the restaurants, but not in your case. I see people love coming there, and I've seen the reviews. It's simply incredible. What is the difference that you have made there?
See, one of the things that we wanted is, we visit a few restaurants on and off, and we see that they give you a tab, they keep a tab, you order the food through the tab. I'm not saying it's wrong. I definitely do not say it's wrong. You order through the tab, then the food is kept there. You order through the tab, then the drink is got there, and then the bill comes there. There is no personal interaction.
Yes.
I mean, this is something I could as well do with Swiggy or Zomato from my house. I don't need to go there, except for, of course, the ambience. So even when we decided to open our, in partnership, we opened this brewery in Bangalore, the first thing we said is, it has to be a little different. We need to make people feel special.
Correct.
It's not just the food, when you say dining, it's not just the food, liquor, or the ambience, or the drink. It is the entire experience of a person. When he comes in, he needs to be made to, he has to feel important. He needs to feel welcome. He needs to feel taken care of. So even if you come to any of our restaurants, you will see that people are personally spoken to. We don't believe in somebody ordering on their own. We say, we will order for you. We will recommend something for you. What would you like to eat? How did you like the food? We kind of pamper our customers who come there, and we ensure that they have a good time. Of course, in terms of the taste, in terms of the service, things can always go topsy-turvy at times. There could be times when the food need not taste the same. There could be times when the service might get a little delayed. But I can assure you that in any of our outlets, you walk into any of our outlets, the hospitality, the warmth that we have for our customers will always be the same. And that we're very, very particular about. And I should thank all our employees, because they are also equally particular about this aspect.
I know. I mean, have you trained them on these grounds?
More than training, I think they follow the leader. That's what I would say.
Lovely.
So when you open a restaurant, or when you are into catering, they see what the owner does. If you are somebody who's just going to sit on a corner and look outside and let things be the way it is, exactly is the kind of behavior you will see, or the culture that you will see across the organization. If they see you for 1 full year or 2 full years, that you walk up to every customer, and the minute you see something fallen down, you go immediately pick it up, you apologize to the customer. I never told my employees to pick up a tissue paper which is on the floor. I go and pick it up myself. And they see me doing that. Now it's become a habit that they do it themselves. So these are things that you need to drive. The culture is something that needs to
leader setting the example.
Definitely. It's something. What we do is what our employees do. What we do is what our children do. Right? So if you're doing it right, they will automatically follow the footsteps. That's how it works. And you do it for a year, you do it for 2 years, and trust me, that culture becomes a part of the organization.
Fantastic. So I think everyone talks about the workplace environment in the organization culture. So one of the best reason behind the attrition of yours is because of the culture that you have portrayed among the employees. What do you say? Because you say
culture is one thing. It's also about understanding. I'll tell you.
They're with you almost since day one with you.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. There was a time when salary was the most important.
Right.
Salary and fear, I would say. You see, while we were kids, and I would see people working in my grandparents' house. I don't think it was even salary. It was more of fear.
Correct.
Okay. It was a fear-driven culture. People were scared, and any kind of work was being done. Then came a time it was salary driven.
Yes.
People paid salaries, people would work. Things have changed. Today it's not fear.
Yes.
It's not just salary. It is salary. It's not just salary, but it's respect.
Absolutely.
Everybody wants respect, and I think everybody deserves the respect. Irrespective of what you're doing in an organization, you're there for a reason.
True.
Okay, right from the person who's cleaning at the back end, who's washing the utensils, to the person who's a general manager, everybody's there for a particular reason. If I'm an owner of an organization, it's for a particular reason that I'm there. Okay, I've been an employee of an organization, and there was a reason to why I was there. And all of us, the basic thing I say, 2 things I would say is timely salary and respect. If you can treat your employees with respect, people never leave. And if you give them salary on time, I mean, you can treat them with a lot of respect, and if you do not pay them, of course, they're not going to stay. But trust me, you can pay them fancy salaries, but if you do not respect your employees, they're not going to stay with you. And be a little compassionate. I see people, somebody will come in, walk in and say, I need some advance, I need some money. Your first reaction is not no. No can be an answer. But your first reaction is, what happened? You ask him, what is the issue? So he can tell you an issue. You can always tell him, no, I'm not able to give you the money. But there is a way to say no.
Correct.
But before you say a no to an employee, you ask him what the issue is. You have to be compassionate, because they are also human beings. They are dealing with the same issues back home which you are dealing with. They have a family to work with.
True.
They have the children going to school. So everybody has an issue. So as an individual, if you're able to be a little compassionate, if you can give the respect that they deserve and pay them salaries on time, I think nobody leaves anybody in this world.
That's the biggest lesson that you have given to the budding entrepreneurs over there. You have multiple chains of restaurants, multiple locations. So when Harsha gets up in the morning and he has multiple things to see. So what is that you look into those pinpoints? How do you start your day?
No,
what are your control mechanisms?
No, first of all, before I go to sleep, I kind of plan my next day.
Great.
One thing I always tell my employees, and I always tell is, we should never get shocked or surprised. There should be no surprise. Anything that's out of the normal, anything that's not going as usual, they need to update me well in advance. So we are well prepared to face that particular issue. It's a very dynamic business. There are a lot of moving parts. Things can go wrong, but they should never be a surprise. Any business should not pose a surprise to you. So my normal habit is, before I go to sleep, I plan my next day. I schedule my day that this is how I would want my next day. And so when I wake up in the morning, I know what's the first thing I have to do, and I start my day accordingly. Normally, I always get up excited. I'm always excited. This morning I got up excited saying I'm coming to GIBS and I have a podcast and I'm going to meet children, the students. And so every morning I get up excited and I sleep excited that there's a very good day coming our way.
Fantastic. Well, having known you, I find you spending good time with the family, good time for yourself in terms of health. So this question I generally ask all the business entrepreneurs. Work-life balance, and I feel you're also a fitness freak. I saw you spending a lot of time for your health. So that's, I think, very important for a successful businessman. Can you throw some light on that? Because these days I've seen not many take very seriously about the health and the work-life balance.
Of late, I've been making a couple of videos on Insta and Facebook, just sharing my experience.
Yes.
And this is one of the things that I spoke about. I think work-life balance, one is family and one is fitness.
Right.
When it comes to work-life. Somebody asked me, do you take your work home? I said, no, I take my home to work. Okay. If I have an important assignment and if my kids are on leave, I take them with me. It helps me in multiple ways. One, my kids get to see what we do, and they also, like I said, they learn some basic business skills or some management skills is what they learn. Second, they also get to see the struggle of their parents. They'll get to know that it's not easy. Life is not easy. My parents really work hard. My parents stand the whole day taking care of customers, taking care of cooks, taking care of employees, doing the whole thing, making it right. So they see that there is a struggle in life. Nothing comes easy. And that makes children a little more sensitive towards the family, towards the parents, and towards the situations that they come up with. So that is one of the reasons why I take my children to my workplace. Second is about fitness. I always say a sound mind in a sound body.
Yes.
That's very, very important. A sound mind, as a businessman, there are so many decisions you have to take on the go. I might be here now in the next 10 minutes, I might get a call and there might be a critical situation that I need to take a call on. So sound mind in a sound body, a sound mind to take the right decision and the sound body to execute that particular decision that you do. This is very, very critical, and fitness has really helped me. Being physically fit, it could be any kind of fitness for anybody, but what suits me is I do a lot of strength training in the gym and it helps me stay alert. It gives me a good night's sleep, because I'm tired by the end of the day. It gives me a very good night's sleep. I wake up fresh. And more than anything, I think it's very important how you present yourself. People, I still remember Mukesh Ambani way back, apparently he was very obese, and then we went and gave a presentation for Reliance Industries in a company, and they said, you don't look as healthy as your company is what they said. And that struck him. And he said, no, I'm going to get fit. And that's when he started. So I think, how you appear when you meet somebody, if you're fit, if you appear fit, they take you more seriously. They think he's more disciplined and things like that. And more than anything, for your own personal gains, I think physical fitness is very, very important. Eventually, something I always say, by the time you're 60 or 70, nobody's going to ask you how much money you have in your bank balance. People are going to ask you, what do your children do and how's your health?
How's your health?
So I think the basic should be one about family and one about your fitness, and your health is very critical.
Lovely. Harsha, as I said, you had an incredible journey. You seem to be unstoppable. Where Harsha would like to see himself 10 years down the line?
10 years down the line, I would see most of my business on autopilot mode. Okay, business is running on their own. All of us, all me and my partners, probably holidaying more regularly than what we do. We, of course, we go on holidays, one international holiday a year and one domestic holiday, but maybe taking on more holidays after that. And some of our kids into our business, managing the business and growing it, is what I would want to see it as.
Fantastic. Now, this is a podcast viewed by a lot of budding entrepreneurs. I found this has to be an interesting platform for them to understand from the journey, because you share the real life examples, which most of the textbook fails to, right? So what is that tips that you want to give to the budding entrepreneurs who are watching you and also wants to be like you one day?
Maybe I'm not the right example. I mean, there are really great role models that you can follow. I might not be the right example to follow. However, I would say, the three things that's helped me throughout. If you had asked me three things that's helped me, one is hard work, one is discipline, and one is luck. Hard work, they say if you want to go to heaven, you have to die. Okay. Discipline is the bridge between your goals and your accomplishments. You can have a goal. To achieve the accomplishment, you have to be disciplined. And when I say luck can be a lot of hidden factors. A lot of people disagree with the factor luck, but luck is something I would say is your belief in God. Luck is your parents' blessings. Luck is karma. Luck is the good things that you do. Luck is probably vastu. Luck could be various things that cannot be measured. So I feel hard work and discipline is in your hand. You can always keep working hard. You can always stay extremely disciplined. And while that's going on, if luck touches you, it takes you to another level altogether. At the same time, if you're not disciplined, trust me, you will not achieve what you want. So the first thing I want to say is hard work, luck, and discipline. Third, I want to say is it's a very, very competitive world. I would want to quote a small little poem that I am very fond of. It says, early in the morning when the sun begins to rise, every lion in the jungle, he opens his eyes and he realizes he has to be faster than the fastest deer to see the next sunrise. Early in the morning, when the sun begins to rise, every deer in the jungle, he opens his eyes and he realizes he has to be faster than the fastest lion to see the next sunrise. So whether you're a lion or a deer in the jungle, trust me, you have to be faster than the fastest to see the next sunrise. It's an extremely competitive world. You have to keep upgrading yourself, your knowledge, there are so many companies that they've lost their prominence over a period of time because they didn't agree to innovate. One of the biggest examples is Nokia. On the contrary, there's so many examples. Our own very favorite, the Tatas and the Mahindras who innovated. There are so many new car companies that came, but these people kept innovating. ITC is Indian Tobacco. They were into cigarettes, but over a period of time, now they're into hospitality, they're into FMCG products. So they innovated with time. So unless and until you are willing to grow with time, unless and until you are willing to innovate, you will not achieve growth. And the final thing I would say is success is a very relative term. You can ask what is success. Success for each person could be different. Success is a very relative term. For me, I would say success is 4 F's. It's family, finance, fitness, and friends. A good balance between these 4 things. A good balance of family, a good balance of friends, a good balance of finance, and a good balance of fitness. So 4F is what you need to stay focused on. And a decent balance of these 4, trust me, is what success is. So I wish you all the best. The future is bright. We live once. Have fun while you work hard and keep achieving. Cheers.
Lovely, lovely. Incredible, sir. I mean, this is the beauty of, having people like you. As I said, gone are the days where the education restricts itself in the 4 walls of the classroom. The real fun lies outside the classroom and when they meet people like you. On behalf of all my viewers, I extend my heartfelt thanks to today's guest, Harsha Melanta. Thanks for making it, sir.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you for
such a
having me.
pleasure.
Thank you.
I'm sure there was loads of takeaways for my students. Yes, we are coming to the end of this session. While we do that, don't forget to like our channels, GIBS Business School, GIBS iretalks, and all the social media platform. For now, this is Guru Prasad, the host for the day, signing off, and thanks for watching.